All right, well, I was down about 2 miles that way, shooting the piece on heat restrictions. I had a southbound intermodal go by me, I don't know, 30 minutes ago or so. And I drove down here to get on the freeway and noticed that this train was sitting here. The signals are cleared south and he is pointed south. So I'm not sure if those are units on the rear of the train. And he has to be going south because there was nowhere to hide him between here and that last southbound that went by. I've got my radio on, but I haven't heard any chatter. And the crossing down there at Famoso Road, as you can see, is up. Here he goes, is backed up. So, let's see what he's gonna do. And perhaps they were picking up a bad unit or something. I don't know why they would use a through train to do that. Seems like they could bring the Famoso local up and drag that bad unit into Bakersfield. But who knows? You know me, I love to speculate. And if they don't have any traffic coming today, which the valley is relatively slow, so they may just be doing whatever they need to do while they have the time to do it, and don't have to waste the locals' time doing any of it. As I said, the valley is relatively slow, especially during the day on the UP Fresno sub. And I know that firsthand from all the time I spent staying in hotels up the valley in Fresno. Madera, Merced always seemed like they were all close to the tracks and trains were going through all night long. I spent the last, not the last couple of days, but a couple of days ago up on the mountain with a subscriber named Garrett Warren and another one named Jacob Pfeiffer. They both have YouTube channels. But those guys are in the know about locomotives and types and all that. I am not. So hanging out with them was pretty interesting listening. They knew the names of the trains and the names of the locomotives, and all I know is that they're UP or BNSF. Well, that guy knew me. Said, "Hey, aren't you Mark?" Don't know if he knew me from the railroad or from these videos, or both. See the old Famoso water tank there? Well, it's actually a working water tank here back in the steam days. Since been purchased by Western Milling, which is that place there. They painted it in their colors, so it's kind of a billboard for them now. Sounds like they are having some sort of an issue with the rear unit. Saying something about one of the units not starting. And the crewman is getting up on the rear unit. He said he was going to go back there and try it again. Boy, but the people down at that crossing are about getting frustrated. This is a pretty busy crossing. It is access to the milling plant. I hope to get the chance to go in there and shoot a video sometime of them moving cars around, and maybe even get inside and do a video of how that place works. I'm fascinated by such things. I love industrial stuff and the way machinery works, and even though this is agricultural, it is the industrial end of the agriculture business, and I think it's pretty cool, and I think you all would think it's pretty cool too. Famoso was a pretty bustling place up until about 20 years ago. And they started shutting some of the sheds down on this side, and they really don't use this track here that goes off to the left. They don't use it anymore except to store equipment on. As you can see, back up in there, they do have some track equipment on which they are working in that track. They can keep it out of the way over there, but it's really not used for train traffic anymore. They don't haul anything out of there. They don't use this side track on this side much either. They do use it occasionally when it's necessary. It ties in just this side of the Famoso, of the South Famoso, and then ties in back under the second bridge, the southbound lanes of Highway 99 there. They do still use all those tracks over there. I did a piece on the Famoso Local one time, followed it switching in Bakersfield and coming out here and going to Laredo and doing its work. I'll link that in the description below. But this was all once signaled, this end of it. You can see that case over there was the control case for the old control signals. The dispatcher actually could control the signals at this end. That was a long time ago when it was fully signaled. All right, this gentleman is back up at this end, and just saw the engineer climb back into the cab. Might mention right here that as long as that crossing has been blocked, there is no specific law that says a train can only block a crossing for so long. The railroad always has the right of way because it was here first. Anytime a road goes across the tracks, it is crossing private property, and railroad policy is not to block crossings at all, to clear them when practicable, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. All right, if you didn't catch that, they did pull us if you caught all that, but they're talking to the dispatcher. Evidently that rear unit is one that they stopped to pick up, and they're having issues with it. It is not running. I don't know what all else is wrong with it, but they are going to pull the train up into the siding at Coelho, clear the crossing, and see if they can't fix the problem. The dispatcher said that he's going to call mechanical and get someone on the way just in case. That is Highway 99 there. Northbound lane's closest to us. Southbound lane's back under there a little ways. See the communications tower down there. That is Union Pacific's tower. And this signal cabin right here is the one that they put in when they upgraded the signal system at this location about 8 years ago when they finished this. The old case that I was pointing out earlier, the old control case, is no longer, has nothing in it anymore, doesn't operate. Notice that he's not picking up much speed. I don't know if that's because of the issues with the locomotive. I noticed that the signal back the next intermediate that way was flashing yellow. Which meant that at that time the signal was cleared into Coelho, since that's where they're going to put him. It's probably still the signal that he has or had, but the speed limit in this area for intermodal trains is 60 miles an hour, so definitely not doing that. Now, I said at the beginning that I was down shooting a piece on heat restrictions. It is not nearly hot enough today for a heat restriction to be issued. The forecast high temperature today in this area is 101, and they don't issue heat restrictions, a level 1 heat restriction, until 110 degrees, and a level 2 heat restriction until 120. See, the crossing is cleared and making those people really happy, I'm sure. They're probably still cussing at the railroad. What are you going to do? Well, the dispatcher told him he wanted him in the siding at Coelho, but they are coming to a stop, so I don't know, I haven't heard any more chatter, but all right, well, got to see something a little different today. Hope you enjoyed that. Keep shooting me the ideas, drop in the comments below. Shoot me an email, motorport59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. We'll see you all later.